Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. and we are back with our top 100. Would you? No, sorry. I
wanted to say I'm professional. I mean, it's so we do it the same.
This is fine.
Okay, all right. Start over.
Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co.
I'm Professor Meg.
And
welcome back to the top 100. Today we are going to be doing numbers 20 through 11. Isn't that right, Alex?
It is. Top 100 games of all time as of 2024. That's what we're back with right now. 20 to 11.
Yeah. Board Game Co style.
Yeah.
Professor Meg is here.
Yeah. If you want to see a little bit of notes as far as how we put together this list, you can go ahead and check out the last video because that will give you the most up-to-date notes on both of us, kind of. Because if you watch the first 7 videos in the series, first seven videos in the series, you got just my notes of how I did it. But then Meg joins for the last 30 and you have her notes in the last video. With that, we can go ahead and start off with our top 20. I think I should go first this time. Last time you went first. So this time I'll go first. Well, technically last time I went first with a 30B, but it depends what your goals are.
I guess.
Do you want to go first? You can go first.
No, that's fine. I was thinking for the top 10 because I really like my number 1.
You want your number 1 to be the last game talked about?
Maybe.
We can do that.
We'll see.
I don't care. You tell me.
I could go first now or later.
Go for.
Should we do a battle for it?
Does it matter that much?
I just think, I don't know, I was thinking of like gamifying.
We should gamify it.
Right,
sure. Okay, so how about we do evens and odds? I am going first.
I hate evens and odds, you guys. I don't know why I have a problem with it.
It doesn't work as well with 2 people anyway. As in, it doesn't work at all.
Yeah.
It only works with more players. Anyways, with that, we're doing my number 20. My number 20. Do I remember number 20? I do remember number 20. Do I remember number 20? Did I do it out of order?
Oh, no.
Give me a second to look at my screen. Don't.
After all of this shenanigans.
No. I just had a note.
Wow, you guys.
Off the side.
Shout out to the timestamps for all of these videos.
So I stack my games. Whatever. I don't.
Whatever.
It's all good. It's all good.
Whatever.
My number 20. My 20 is El Grande, the oldest game, I believe, in my top 100. By oldest, I mean year published, not oldest game in my collection. This is a 1995 title, I want to say, but it's been in my collection later than that. I got into my collection maybe 2015, 2016-ish. What?
I love how last video I was like in a total agreement with everything. This video, I'm like already ready to fight.
Have you played this game?
No, I have not. No,
you cannot.
That's not what I'm saying. You're saying the oldest game, but I know something else that's over there that I think is older than this.
In terms of, the second oldest game in my top 100.
Like, what are you saying?
Okay, fine. That's fair.
Yeah.
Literally, like 3 games from now, the oldest game in my top 100 will be here. Unless you count Shuffleboard, which I don't know where that... I put Shuffleboard in my top 100 already, but I don't know how old that is.
Well, not in your top 20.
Not in my top 20. But I said this is the oldest game in my top 100, and I'm so wrong.
Yeah.
I couldn't be more wrong.
Right. I think there's like... I mean, I'm not gonna...
We'll get to it. We'll get to it soon.
I'm not gonna bet, but I bet there's a couple.
You know, these videos are better when I did them solo. El Grande Big Box, just because I can't be corrected.
Like the video down below.
Yeah, if you do like this video, it will tell me that I was wrong, that this video is better with Meg, so do that. Anyways, El Grande Big Box, this is an incredible...
Includes 6 expansions!
Which I've played, like, with none of them, I think. Because I don't need to. Like, it's long story short. We're going to get into a little side tangent. It's going to be full of side tangents. I was talking about Dune.
Fight this whole video.
I was talking about Dune Imperium, and I got a comment from somebody who said, because I mentioned I didn't play Uprising yet, and it has dropped a little bit for me this year. And he's like, the fact that you haven't played Uprising does show you're less committed to the game. And I was like, I am less committed to the game, but nothing to do with me playing Dune Imperium Uprising. Some of my favorite games in my collection, I still have not played the expansions. Vindication, my number 1 game of all time last year, haven't played half the expansions. When I love a game, I'm usually not in a rush to try all the stuff. Maybe I should be, but I'm happy. I'm content. El Grande Big Box is amazing. It's incredible. There is a new version out as well. I think Hansem Gluck and Lucky Duck, if I'm not mistaken. But this is area control at its purest, cleanest. There's only one problem I have with this game. Only one problem, which is it's best at 5 players. Not 3 to 5, not 4 to 5. It is best as a 5-player game, which means I do table it less frequently than I'd like. But dear Lord, when I table it, it is such a ridiculously good experience. It is clean area control across 9 rounds. Every 3 rounds is a scoring round. And it is so much positioning and jockeying for over the simplest of actions as you draw cards that will determine how many units you have, but also what special ability you have. But you have to figure out which initiative card to play, how important is it to get first pick this round. You see there's 9 rounds in the game, you have 13 cards. And every round you pick one of your numbers to determine your initiative, but that number's gone forever. So only one time in the game can you guarantee you'll go first. The rest of the time you're trying hoping it's a... It's good.
Tricksy.
It's good. I like it. It's El Grande. It's incredible. You should play it.
Sure. There's a lot of games I should play, and I don't know if area control is like what I would be. Anyway, on to my number 20. Sounds good. Sounds great. I would if a group of 4 people were like out of the con and like, hey, let's play. I would totally play. I just don't know if like that's like high up on my list. But it sounds great.
I'm gonna do that for the rest of the video. Sounds
You
great, Meg. It's a great choice. I'm sure there's a lot of people who like it. It sounds like that could be a good game for some folks.
Are you ready to completely dunk on my number 20?
Oh, absolutely.
My number 20 is Dominion.
Why am I dunking on that?
I know you can't.
Didn't you sit there?
I know you can't.
And I talked about Dominion last video, and you were like, it's good.
Yeah, I was holding
tricksy?
it in.
You're being tricksy?
I was holding it in.
Okay.
Dominion, and the reason I pull it up on my phone is that's why I like this game. I actually play it on my iPad. I became an iPad kid because of Dominion. It's what made me start playing games on it. And I enjoyed it.
It's a good game.
It's a good game. I still prefer a changing market of cards, like similar to something like Ascension or Clank, or Dune, where I really like the cards that change. But that being said, Dominion is something that you can, especially with games that are on apps and stuff, which is something that I've really dove into, you can play it quickly. So you can play through a lot and kind of like memorize the cards and then kind of just like do things while you're playing. And I don't know, it got me playing a lot more on my iPad, so.
Yeah. You know my favorite deck building game with a changing market?
What?
Lost of Arnak.
Yeah, I never thought
about that. I never thought about that.
After I said Dune, I was going to say Arnak, and I was like, how many can I name?
Like, maybe because it's not the main and only mechanic, that's when I don't mind it. I think when the mechanic is exclusively deck building, I really prefer rotating market.
I started with deck building, and I love it.
Yeah. I mean, we're starting with 2 older games here. 2 older games, but we will have older games, as pointed out by Meg. Anyways, my number 19. Another older game from me in my collection. It's been around for quite some time. And I'm holding up just one version of this because honestly I don't know which one I pick as far as the better one. But this is Codenames Duet. Equally to be replaced by Codenames. I find Codenames and Codenames Duet to be amazing, incredible, interchangeable. Codenames Pictures is a step down. All the other Codenames are even a further step down. But this and regular Codenames are where it's at. This is one of my top party games in my top 100. There is still another one to come. In this video, we're going to have another party game to come in this video that is even higher than Codenames, which blows my mind that it's higher than Codenames, considering how much I play Codenames and how much I love Codenames, but it blows my mind. Can you guess what it is? Don't say it out loud. Can you think about it? You know what it is?
Is it a game that I'm...
Yeah. It's that game. It's that game. That was a reaction there. Anyways, Codenames. Excellent experience. I love it. It is from Reina Knizia. Is it Reina Knizia? No, Vladish Vatil. Wrong person. Vladish Vatil. This is it's all about the puzzle of trying to get your partner or teammates or whatever it is to guess the cards you have in mind. So you say things like, color 4, and there's 4 cards that might be more vibrant. Maybe there's literally rainbow on the table. Maybe there's literally the word red, and then after that there's a tree, and you're thinking, well, trees are obviously so green, so I associate that with a color, but the problem is somebody else picked something else because tree wasn't so obvious. It's all about trying to figure out the right sequence of how your partners are going to think in the game, and then either being right and winning, or being wrong and getting to yell at each other, but why did you possibly think tree was a good clue when bonsai was on the table and it's from the enemy team? Yes. Why would you do that? Anyways, it's a fun game. It has good moments. I like it a lot.
Also, I know you mentioned like the Duet and regular version, but also shout out now to the app.
Oh my gosh, I deleted the app.
iPad Kid? Really?
It was a problem.
Oh, because it was too much.
It was a problem.
Yeah.
I was playing the app. I was playing the app.
There's
for
different
Codenames.
ways to play it. There's like little challenges and stuff. You can do a whole lot.
For like 2 months straight, I was playing like 17 games of Codenames a day on the app.
Honestly, that makes sense.
All the challenges.
Because...
It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot. It's too much. It was a problem. The app is addictive. I'm not even recommending the app at this point. It's you have to have a life, people. You have to have a life. Anyways, hi CG.
My number 19 is just the cover. Agemonia. Agemonia is a game that I played this year, and when I thought again about like the different dungeon crawlers and story-based games that I played, this is one that I think is a bit lighter for me for what I would prefer for moving around the map, and you also have static actions, so your actions are always the same. You do upgrade them and change them, but like within every encounter, they stay the same. So for me, I like more like variability, a little bit more like crunch and strategy, but when I thought about this list, I thought about the story. And I thought about the little creatures that I found and how much fun that I had, that this is a game that is very beautiful. It's very vibrant. There are these really cute creatures. You're getting gems. You're like really cool races. So yeah, shout out to Agemonia. For me, truly because of the story and the worlds that they built is what really brought it up for me. Because again, the gameplay is great, and I think if you want like a more entry level or even medium level dungeon crawler, like this one's great for a campaign game. But that being said, if you want one that is beautiful and like this is a great choice.
I agree with you completely. It is a little lighter gameplay-wise than I would typically go for, but the overall package of it is incredibly engaging, has lots of replayability, lots of fun. Definitely recommend it.
Just like play that and then play like a Euro after when you need like the crunch. You know, have the story, have fun, and then play like a hard competitive game after.
My number 18 is down here. My number 18.
This is so chaotic.
My 18 is Anno 1800.
Oh my gosh, another one I haven't.
You haven't played it yet?
I don't know
gosh.
how.
This is so easy to table.
I've asked.
We'll make it happen after this. Not after this. We got another video too.
Yeah, I don't know how. This one is one that everyone talks about. I still have not played it.
It's great. It's a great game.
I've heard.
It's Anno 1800. Anno 1800 from Martin Wallace. It is consistently grown for me more and more over time.
That's the barcode.
It started off strong, and it got better and better the more I played it. It gives you kind of the gameplay feel that Brass does. Very different, but it gives you the gameplay feel that Brass does, but it does so in much less brain burneriness, which I find to be... I like both. I like having both in my collection. Brass is also my top 100, but Anno is so much fun to try to figure out your own little production chains and what you're going to do and which of the various cards you're going to try to purge from your hand. There's something so satisfying about the hand management, the hand purging, the way you're building everything up, the way you take advantage of what other players have built, being mindful of the fact that you need to build your own production, but you also need to use others. You need some trade tokens. You need to go exploring off. There's so much happening in the game, and it's got great art. It's easy to teach, easy to play, relatively speaking, of course. Not like super easy, but relatively speaking. But I just find it really accessible while being... really accessible for the weight class that the game is in, while being very interactive and giving players a reason to pay attention to their own things and what other players are doing. Delightful game. One of the best... I was about to say, this is probably my top video game adaptation of my top 100. And then I immediately realized that once again, I would be wrong so quickly.
I love this. I think you should only give wrong endings.
Wrong endings. I should do that. This,
Only
wait,
wrong
sorry,
endings.
wait, let's do this again. Okay, El Grande is the oldest game in my top 100. Codenames Duet is the top ranked party game in my top 100. And Anno 1800 is the highest ranked video game adaptation in my top 100. This is a fun game. Let's see if I can keep this going.
Okay, let's see. I had a question before we kept going. Where did Brass rank? Do you remember?
I don't remember exactly. Somewhere in the, I want to say 50s to 70s.
Okay.
I have to look at my list.
I was just curious
Yeah.
for me. Ready?
Yeah. Is she gonna
I don't know what
Brass
number
out?
we're at. No.
18.
18. My number 18 is Sleeping Gods. Now, I'm going to huge disclaimer that this is Primeval Peril, and I have not played this version. This is just the smallest box that I could grab, so that's why I grabbed this one. Sleeping Gods, again, is an exploratory game, and this is the last game on this list that I'm going to mention that has a living memory that really impresses me. It's actually going to be in the next video.
Is that a true statement or like my statements?
I'm trying to be like you, but it's actually my top 10, so it's going to be just confusing. But I love the memory that this game has. So there are a lot of games that you play through that are campaign style, where you tag different things and you log different things, and what you do has consequences, and there's all different ways that they do that, right? Sometimes you have sheets, sometimes you have stickers, you have cards, whatever. And the way that it's done in Sleeping Gods, I just enjoy so much. So you have it with different cards, and they'll have keywords, and they'll relate to other things, but you also have a map where you can track and know everything that you're going through, and you have a lot of choices that are just going to determine, like, different things that you're going to live through throughout the game. So for me, this is one that I really, really love, that I wish more people around me wanted to play it more often, because I think I would get it even more played if I had more people around with me, because the actual base game I have not finished yet, but I've tried it a few times with different groups.
It's a good game.
Yeah.
I like it.
I really enjoyed it.
I haven't fallen in love with it the same way as
Yeah.
many, many others have.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's number 18. My number 17. My number 17, I was trying to think through something I can say that's ridiculous about this, but I don't actually have one. My number 17 is Coimbra. I could say it's the top rated Euro I have in my collection. That would be a wrong statement. So this is the highest rated Euro game I have in my collection. I mean, it actually might be for this video, but not for the next one. Anyways, Coimbra. Coimbra, designed by
I have a cold, you guys.
Virgiano Gili and Flamino Brassini. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the names. Put out by Eggerspiel is this is a long running. Put out in 2018. Coimbra is a delightful Euro game of. You haven't played this either, have you?
Yeah, that's one again that it was at Dice Tower West.
Interesting.
And I almost sat at the table, and then I got whisked away.
Coimbra's delightful. I like this game a lot.
Yeah.
It's got a dice drafting mechanism where you're kind of trying to like place these dice in the dice placement, I guess. Dice placement mechanism where you're trying to place these dice in different. Trying to be mindful of the colors of the dice, which spot they go in, and the values of the dice to try to chain everything together as you wander around on a little map on the sideboard, as you try to be mindful of your guards and coins, trying to be mindful of your economy in the game. It's got all these characters that across 4 rounds, you're going to be playing with you're going to be trying to get all these characters that will help your engines in a variety of ways. I find it all comes together in this hodgepodge of things you're trying to do and trying to figure out which thing is most important to you. Is it most important to go higher on the track? Is it most important to get that character and that ability? Do you want that little bit of engine running going up? Are you trying to explore the little mini-map on the sideboard? There's so many things happening and you're just trying to figure out your engine better than the other players. I love this game. Every time I play it, it's an absolute blast. It gives you a great Euro game in 90 minutes to 2 hours and is highly delightful. Plays best at 3 in my opinion, great at 4, not so great at 2.
We should play that one after this.
We should play a lot of games after this. I mean, I said not great after this. We'd have to loop in somebody else.
Sure. That one I'm interested in. But a game we wouldn't have to loop someone else into is my number, whatever we're at, 17.
17.
Lord of the Rings Duel. You guys, you may or may not have heard me talking about duel games this year because there are a lot that have come out, and I have tried quite a few of them, and this one is probably my favorite. Probably my favorite still. I played a few recently. I think still my favorite.
Interesting.
Yeah. I love Lord of the Rings though. Shout out to the first top 100 I ever did on Board Game Co. when it was that, I don't know if it was in the top 100. I think it was that whole time when we were filming and I was like giving you and Devin Lord of the Rings trivia.
Oh, I remember that.
And I was asking you guys things. I love Lord of the Rings. So that for me, I think just really brought me into it, that I enjoy Seven Wonders Duel. I really like the card layout system. But for me, adding all the things that you add with it, like just chef's kiss. It's great. It's a beautiful game. If you like dueling, if you like being mean, and even if you don't like being mean, try it anyway. Maybe it'll make you mean.
It's a great game. It's
really fun.
It's very satisfying. This is around 50-ish for me, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
But I think Seven Wonders Duel is great. I think Lord of the Rings Duel is more thematic. Seven Wonders Duel is a little better in some areas. Lord of the Rings Duel is a little more accessible. They both have their strengths, but they're both excellent games.
I think that the strategy behind the card layout system, to me, is more in depth than something like Azul. Azul, you're more adapting, whereas this is more pure strategy from the beginning, which I enjoy that. I enjoy planning all my moves and then changing as you have to, but being able to see the end.
It's cutthroat. It's very cutthroat because of that. You can plan out. You can see what's happening. 2016. 2016 for me is one that you already said is not going to be on your list, and I was offended by that, but that's whatever. Either way, neither here nor there.
Yeah.
That is Inish.
Yeah.
Inish is excellent. This is... Can I say this properly? Is it my favorite area control game in the top? I mean, it doesn't matter. It's true or it's not true. It doesn't really matter. It's my favorite area control game in my top 100.
Like, are we trying to be true or not anymore?
It's not true. My favorite area control game in the top 100. My highest ranked area control game. Again, not true.
You can't do the lies because then they're not sure what's...
If I say it's not true each time, it's fine.
Okay.
I'm warning them. I'm telling you it's not true. This is my favorite area control game in the top 100. Inish is from Matago. Still remains my favorite area control game in the top 100. It has a simplicity to it as far as how good the game is. You're trying to go for 3 victory conditions. Any one of the 3 is going to be enough, although sometimes you have to tie because other players might get more. Getting 2 at once can be stronger. But ultimately, it's all about the drafting of the cards. You are drafting cards that define the core 16 actions available to you in the game and trying to figure out which actions are going to get you the victory that turn or deny somebody else the victory. It plays honestly, there's a few things there's so much going on in the game. It plays incredibly well. It can be beautiful. Over in a round. I've played a 1-round game of Inish, and that's incredible. And I've played 7-round games of Inish. You can have a ton of variability to how the experience plays out. One of my favorite things that my group regularly says is, it's never been like this before. We specifically say that about Inish, where every time you manage to play the game, something happens that never played out that way before, and it's like a joke refrain within our group that it's never played like that before, because it gives you so much excellent experiences in this area control game, and that's why it's my top ranked area control game in my top 100.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great game. I said this in the top
last video.
30 to 29, the last video.
30
down
to 21.
Below. What did I say?
30 to 29.
Okay, well those were in the video. Anyway, I explained that my top 30, I wanted to be refreshed. That I took out a lot of games that would be in my true top 30. Like, if I did a full top 100, I would have certain games like 8-ish in there and higher. But I've said it 2 years in a row, and I wanted to give you guys more of, like, a fresh list, because I'm doing just a top 30, so I just wanted to give you guys, like, a mix of, like, old games and new games, what holds up, and why they're here. Just to defend myself and why I'm here.
Oh, you'll need to. They come after you hard sometimes.
Oh, I know.
The comments in the videos, they're...
Charterstone. Okay, so Charterstone.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know. I went through my old photos of this year and I was like, what did I have so much fun doing? Charterstone is a legacy game. So it is one of those games that can kind of leave your mind. It's 10 scenarios? 12. And then after that you're done and you can continue to play it, but it's not really like the point of the game. The point is the legacy element. So it is a game that you can kind of leave your mind. But when I went back and thought about it, I played this in 2 days. 2 days. I played all 12 of the things. So this is an older game by Stonemaier, and it's a legacy game where everyone is all free for all, and you have your little town areas within the map, and you are slowly stickering things down, making different locations better and better for the actual game that you're playing within the game. Yeah. This is Charterstone. I loved it. I had such a fun time.
It's great. I've played this twice. The amount of legacy games I've played twice are actually a few of them.
I think next year, after Clank Legacy 2 and a few others, I might do a legacy video, but Charterstone is, like, pretty high.
I've had on my list for, like, 2 years to do, like, my best legacy games. I never actually did it.
Yeah.
Every time I want to do the video, I'm like, I just need to play that last one first, and then I don't do the video, and then no one comes out, and I'm like, one more.
And this is the highest ranking legacy game on my list.
Anyways, my number 20...
maybe in this video.
2019, 18, 17, 16. My number 15. My number 15 is large, and it is the oldest game in my collection. I think if I previously told a lie about it, I should tell the corrected truth about it at this point.
Perhaps.
This is going to be confusing. I'm sorry.
I know. I love how literally last game I was like, this is going to be confusing. You're like, it's fine. I'm going to tell them. And now you're like, I'm sorry. This is confusing.
Well, I'm going to tell them when I'm telling the truth and when I'm not. But my oldest game in my collection...
You're going to have so much editing to do for this video.
Pointed out is...
I'm not helping.
This is Crokinole. Crokinole. It's my number 2015 game. Number 15 game of all time as of 2024. It's a large game. I would show you more of it, but I can't because there's other games on the table, more games coming, but this is Crokinole. It is the oldest game in my top 100, actually, coming in, again, unless Shuffleboard's old, I don't actually know. But, what? I don't know. I don't know. Shuffleboard, either way. Either way,
they're both sports.
They're both in the BGG database, okay? Although I will say, and I said this during the Shuffleboard video, the Shuffleboard is potentially a slight caveat to that because of the fact, let me just try not to...
That there's a board game called Shuffleboard?
Well, no, not because of that, but because my version of Shuffleboard is not like the official size that the Shuffleboard one is. That's what's trickier. Crokinole's an old game. It's been around for quite some time. I did debate which one I like better, Shuffleboard or Crokinole. I go back and forth. I play Shuffleboard more right now, but Crokinole still has a degree of higher satisfaction, I believe, in terms of the shots you can make. As much as Shuffleboard is excellent, it's amazing. Both of these are my top 100 pretty high. Crokinole still is like a good 4-player game of Crokinole. The teams, the shots you have, the experience, the bonding, it is so incredible of an experience. I think if I was ranking 2-player, I think Shuffleboard would be higher. Shuffleboard 2-player versus Crokinole 2-player, Shuffleboard would be higher. But Crokinole 4-player has such an experience to it that I can't get over it. It's an experience. It's an experience you have to have. It's just an expensive game, which is the downside. Were you shaking your head no?
No.
Oh, okay, fine. You're allowed to.
God, I had a question and then you caught me off guard. What was are you going to be playing in the Crokinole tournament at Level Up?
I don't know. I am always wary of committing to things,
it's a fun time,
especially at Level Up because of the fact that I'm on a call for a bunch of things. So I'm wary of committing to stuff.
They do a whole tournament at Level Up that is very fun. It's everyone that plays is
I did last year. I plan on it. I had a great time. Played with a random person.
That's what I'm saying.
This year, I went head to head with Danielle and Devin. Almost won. They were sweeping the room. We were not sweeping the room, and then we had our moment of connection. We came down to the wire, and I hate Danielle and Devin. I hate them.
Anyway, my number 14?
15.
15?
I think so.
Oh no. my number 15 is just under the table more. It was because it
Okay.
had... I gotta go get it?
Yeah, go get
Okay.
it. Go get it.
Sorry, it's just a little bit...
So, anyways, this top 100 is a bit chaotic, which is to be expected. And Meg's back. Okay, cool.
I didn't realize this wasn't in my pile. I love Class. Oh my god. I love Cats Explore and Draw by Frank West. So this is a game set in the Isle of Cats universe, but it is a flip and write, where everyone is drafting. You're picking different cats from different rows, but everyone has the same access to all of them. You're not taking them from anybody. And you're using it just to fill out your boat to optimize it in the best way to have different cats of the same color touching each other and also meeting certain conditions that can get you extra points. So this by far is so satisfying. It is perfectly perfectly paced. And I just think that yeah. Every time you keep reaching and doing stuff, I feel like you're like Santa reaching for a present because it's like Christmas time right now. I'm like, what's coming over here?
And the problem is the stack of games I had is stacked against...
Do you need to...
No, I'm good. It's all good now.
There's going to be so much editing to this video.
There's no editing to this video. What editing?
Oh, I know. These poor people. Anyway, this is a game that has been in my top list ever since I've gotten it. I don't know if it came out in 2022 or 2023, so I don't remember if it was in 2022. But I have loved this game literally since the day I learned it. And I have shown it to a lot of people. And another thing that you guys know that I say sometimes is shout out to an affordable price point. So this is a game that packs a huge punch. It's really, really fun. You can have I think it goes up to 6 players. Yeah, 1 to 6. And it's pretty affordable. I want to say it's under $30. I want to say it's right at like 30 or like $29.99. So I love Cats Explore and Draw.
It's great. It's my favorite version of Wild Cats so far.
Yeah.
My number 14. Yeah, 14. My 14 is the one that is actually my highest ranked party game. And that is So Clover. So Clover beat out Codenames, finally. And I'm shocked at that because I think Codenames is incredible. And I do play Codenames more. But So Clover is so good.
Yeah.
This has become my default... We got time for one more game, right? We got time for one more game. Like, I find this always... My life goes through phases, and there's always that game. Like, at one point it was Cockroach Poker was the game that did that. At one point it was Skull. There's always, like, different games that go through. Coup, once upon a time, was that game. Those are all bluffing games. This is not a bluffing game. But at any given point, there's always the game that's the one more. We have time for one more game. And So Clover has absolutely become that for me. This is the game I want to reach for when we're closing out the night, or maybe it's just a group of new friends, whatever it is, and you have a bunch of people, and you just want something that's going to work for everyone, and it's so much fun. The general premise of the game is you get a clover, effectively, which is going to have cards on it with linked words. And so your goal is to connect any 2 words. So maybe your goal is to connect...
I'll say my funny one, because this is the funny one.
Go ahead.
I had spicy and wind.
Oh, this was cheating, isn't it?
Kind of.
Yes, your funny one
is... gusto. That's not cheating. That's a word. That's one word. And if it linked you to them...
Yeah, I think arguably it's cheating, but it was clever. It was clever.
How?
Either way. So, I have to look... Wait, spicy... Okay, spicy and wind.
Gusto.
Because gust is a word for wind. So you're going for a hidden aspect. Again, it's clever. It's still clever. It's just technically it's not legal, technically. There's lots of things that are clever that are not legal. But either way, the goal is to connect 2 things. And the point is you have a clover, so there's all of these corners. And it's a cooperative game. You all try to create your own little puzzle. You don't create it. You're given a puzzle. You have to solve that puzzle. And then wipe out all the words, put an extra card into it, spread them all out, and the players have to figure out, reverse their way back into it. So if I'm looking at gusto, I'm like, what would relate to gusto? And then I'm piecing up these cards, and I'm like, there's game, and sword, and knife, and spicy. Spicy could be gusto. Wind? Would she have done that? No, she wouldn't have. That's cheating. Either way. The basic premise,
So if you had dairy and bug, and I put butterfly, that's cheating?
Yes.
I hate this game.
That's absolutely cheating. Because you're going for the double...
Not.
I have to look at the actual rules. I could be wrong, but this... Generally, in games like this, trying that... Either way, it's still fun. I would still give it to you. It's still clever. I'm just going to acknowledge that we're cheating because it's a cooperative game. We're all trying to win together.
Still fun.
I enjoy this game. I enjoy it very much, regardless of whether we won legally or not. That's So Clover. Excellent game.
Good thing we weren't playing with the police.
Yeah, good. That's So Clover. It's excellent, and I highly recommend it. It's currently my favorite party game, actually.
The thing I was thinking, when you first said it, the difference that I have noticed now between So Clover and Codenames is that we are very talky people, so Codenames is fine. And then I started playing Codenames on Codenames Live, which again is with like very outgoing people. And then I noticed when I started playing it with other certain people, So Clover is so much better for people that are more quiet and reserved because they won't join in and start saying things like for the code names. I think code names can get a bit loud and talk over for certain people, whereas So Clover, you kind of have like your individual things, and even if you quietly want to say something, you kind of just take the card and place it where you want if you want to be like, hey, I think this is a good clue. So I think that it is a bit better just for all types of people.
I like it. I recommend it. Both.
I like it.
Both of them.
Okay. Y'all, I'm excited about this one. This is 14?
Yes.
Okay. Number 14. I love how every number I don't know.
I do that all the time, don't worry. I've done it so many times in this top 100. They're sick of it.
Cthulhu Death May Die.
It's a good game.
It's a good game. And again, this is one that has been in my list a couple of times. And this I thought deserved to return to my list because I've played it a bit this year. I want to say the last time I played it was really, really fun. And I was like looking through my pictures to see what I should talk about. And I took a lot of pictures, which tells me I had a lot of fun when I was playing. So this one I just really enjoy. Okay, ready? I enjoy the co-op. I enjoy the simplicity of the actions with the complexity of your abilities. I enjoy the scaling system that you get to grow your abilities, but you choose which ones you want to get better. And I enjoy the madness stuff because I love Lovecraft, and it just makes sense and is super cool.
I enjoy the fact that this morning I got an email confirmation that we're getting the newest one sent our way. Like the newest one. Like the one that the campaign just ended because they're going to have us do coverage for. Yeah.
Oh, we'll cover it.
Oh, yes.
Oh, we'll cover it.
Oh, it's not even sponsored.
Trust.
I just reached out to them. I was like, please give me the game.
This is the top Arkham game on my list.
She's lying. She's a dirty, dirty liar.
Oh, this is just a lid, so they're going to have to wear this like a hat. I don't know how to do this. There we go. Ah! Oh, uh-oh.
Well, you can do that, honestly. Honestly, if you reverse it, that actually works. You get a little bit of coverage of Charterstone still in there.
Well, I think
No, now it's gone. Now it's gone.
I was going to do this.
That works. Beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm going to do my next game. My number 13 is, I think this is actually the highest ranked video game. So remember earlier when I said this is the Anno 1800 is the highest ranked video game adaptation to a board game? Oh, I guess that's cheating. Depends how you count that. This is the highest video game adaptation to a board game, but really it's not technically a video game adaptation. It just happens to also be a video game, both of which are adapted from the book. The Witcher is a board game.
I would say that's still fair.
It's still fair. It's still fairish, but I wanted to give a qualifier because otherwise there'll be that one person who goes,
actually, it was a book first.
Anyways, you guys are all lovely. We love all of you. We just like poking fun at some
It's
of you.
honestly not even you.
Yeah, it's not. It's not
you guys.
It's that one guy. It's you. Just you. The rest of you are fine. Anyways, The Witcher from Go On Board is excellent. It's a video game / board game / book adaptation. It gives you. It's an adventure game that is competitive, which I find most adventure type games are usually more cooperative or solo. There is a solo mode to this if you want to play it, but the general idea is you're playing as one of many Witchers and you're wandering the lands trying to kill the various monsters. You're hunting down the monsters you've been hunted to kill, you've been paid to kill. You can challenge other Witchers, and you can also gain points, trophies, by going up to the top on certain tracks on your board, leveling up your skills. And you're trying to be the first person to get 4 trophies. Across the game, you're going to be wandering around, engaging, gambling, all these various things, and that little adventure of trying to figure out your hand, because it's got a fun little chaining system for combat. It's so rewarding. When you get into combat and you chain a bunch of cards, you're like, I'm going to follow this with that, and it's going to change that, just change that. That gives you the feeling of like an elegant, like, attacking each other with a sword, pacing, dueling back and forth. The expansions just add more to it, more depth to the monsters, more interesting cards for the dueling. I love The Witcher, the old world. I find it so satisfying to play. Highly recommend it. It's my number 13.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's one I want to play more of.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's good.
Okay.
After this.
I was going to talk more about it, but then I was like, how long can we make this video?
Too long.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Morrison Game Factory is my number 13, brought to you by Post Curious. Now, if you know anything about me, I'm obsessed with Post Curious and every single thing I have encountered that they've done. And there's just a small amount of things that I haven't yet encountered, and I assume I will love it. So, they are a puzzle type, escape room type game, and this one is about a board game that showed up to your house that was made at a factory. So it was processed through a factory, and then you are using everything that is found within here to kind of find out what message is being sent to you, because, spoiler alert, something is trying to talk to you, and I think it's really sweet. I think it's sweet and cute and has a lot of heart in it. But I did want this spot in general to be post-curious in general because they have a lot of great games like this. Whereas if something like this might not pull you in from the beginning, they have Emerald Flame, which I believe has already been on the list.
Yeah, I did another thing. I did a spot for escape rooms,
Yeah.
and Emerald Flame was my placeholder.
Yeah, and this one, honestly, I wanted to put in place of Emerald Flame because I really did enjoy the story.
It's
Emerald Flame
surprisingly
is
charming.
very clever. It's very, very clever, and you're figuring things out. This one, you feel like you're interacting with the thing. So it's just very sweet. And they also have a new one, the Molt.
The Molt, the Ministry of Lost Things.
Yes, that one was also fantastic. So that one I think isn't quite out yet. They just had a thing. So check out everything that they have. But oh gosh, both this and Molt, if you're looking for feel good versus solely just puzzles, both of these are just very sweet.
Great games. It's a great choice. It's very.
Yeah.
I recommend it. I recommend it a lot. My number
I really
12.
liked this one.
My number 12 is actually the smallest game in my top 100. I think actually. This.
Oh, okay. That's what you were
like. You're like, it's gotta be
I was like,
small.
what about For Northwood?
For Northwood is my number 12 game of all time. I love this. I love this so much. It is so satisfying. This is my go-to travel game. It's my go-to. I play when I just need 5 minutes of just playing a trick-taking game. I don't know what it is. I have championed this game in every single possible video I could, whether it's a gift-giving video, whether it's a trick-taking video, whether it's top 10 small box games, top 10 affordable games, top 100 games of all time. It's just so ridiculously charming in terms of the actual gameplay, as well as challenging in terms of the gameplay. You're playing as solo trick-taking. You're trying to go up against these 8 nations or make peace with the various leaders, and you're playing tricks, trying to be mindful of the fact that you need to win a certain number of tricks, and you're trying to gamify statistics while having abilities to be able to help you when statistics go wrong. There's so much charm to the experience, so much thinkiness to the gameplay, all in a very small, affordable price point that you don't even need friends for. Friends are great. The rest of my top 100 you need friends for. Most of the rest of my top 100. This one, you don't even want friends. Although technically you could play with a friend and just make decisions together. That would probably be fun. But For Northwood, my smallest game in the top 100, actually.
Yeah, For Northwood, I really fell in love with, and then haven't really played that much since then. I feel like I was really hot on it and then cooled down. So I think I have to get back into it.
Not to send you down a rabbit hole, but it is on Board Game Arena.
Oh, I have an iPad kid. Oh no! Oh, I was like, no matter what he says, what is he gonna say? What? Like, oh, they're making what? They're gold leafing it. They're making an expansion. Like what? Oh, it's on BGA. Oh.
Weirdly enough, I actually have only played on BGA like twice. Most of my games have been in person. I do find when a game is accessible on BGA, I will play it a lot. I just happen to have not bothered. I think because I enjoy the tactileness of this a lot. But BGA is good, especially if you want to get back into it and remember like how to play. Not that the rules are hard.
Not sponsored. Y'all, wait, I'm going next, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just prepping it.
This is number 12.
Number 12, sure.
My number 12 is Mythic Mischief. Now, this is a game that was on my list last year, and again, my list is like rearranged to add in like all new things that you guys are going to be shocked, amazed, awed by in the next video. But we have some oldies and goodies, like I said, that still deserve to be here. And Mythic Mischief, I love. And this year, I got to teach it at WSBG to my friend Gray. I think it's WSBG. Maybe it was a Gen Con. I think it was a WSBG. It was, for sure. I taught it to Gray, and that was, like, one of my favorite experiences of this year. It was just really, really fun because he's super smart. He is a 2-time ring champion winner for WSBG. He's a great, fantastic gamer. And being able to teach a game like this to someone that is a high-level player, and it's such a thinky game, and then watching them get frustrated but then get excited and understand how things work and be like, oh, and just see the spark of it. It was just such a special experience for me that this is a great game. It's an abstract game where you're moving around as these different factions where you get to be like wolves or ghosts or whatever, and you are just trying to get your opponent's people caught. So you're trying to maneuver everything in different ways with how you place your miniatures, how you can pull and manipulate theirs, and moving around the headmaster or hedgemaster, depending on the game that will catch them. And it's just very, very thinky. Stands up.
It's great.
This game slaps.
Yeah. It was already in my top 100. I'm excited about this game. I think it's great. The painted miniatures don't hurt.
Yeah.
Anyways, my number 11 is excellent. Still not the top area control game in my collection, although I could tell you it would
I love
be.
that every game we're like, these are the games, you guys. These games are
I mean, these
Primo.
are the games. This is
Yeah.
this is not.
Just you wait till that next video.
Yeah. I mean, this is bothers me already. The fact this is 11 and not like within the top 10 bothers me. But you only have 10 games.
Should we
that's
just
in the top
stop
10.
now and do 11 in the next video?
Yeah,
so
that's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Until next
Thanks,
time,
guys.
I'm Alex Rack from Wargame Co. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you enjoyed.
I'm Professor Meg, and this was the last game I'm going to cover today.
My number 11 is Rurik, Dawn of Kiev. Rurik, Dawn of Kiev. You haven't played this either.
I literally want to. I'm kind of mad about this game, actually.
You should be mad with this whole list.
I've heard it. I think that people have been playing it.
I don't know what that means.
I've heard it thrown around that people were playing it at different things.
I've played it without you plenty of times.
Yeah, and people are playing it at PAX, I think.
It is so good. Rurik, Dawn of Kiev is I believe my favorite game from Stan Kodonsky. Although he has such good games, it's hard to say always. But this is an area control game that has a mechanism in play where you basically are trying to bid on the actions you can take. Do you want to recruit? Do you want to move? Do you want to build things? What is it you're trying to do each round? The problem is you have these tokens you're placing down, and people can knock you down a tier. So you're like, I will place this token here, and that's the order of where you're going to go in the round. And someone else can push you down and be like, actually, I'm taking that action before you, and I'm taking a better action than you. There's all this little puzzle of the timing of your actions, as well as who's going to actually lock in those actions. And then even when you have all that, there's still a lot of decision space around how you're actually going to carry out all the actions in the game. I'm incredibly excited to play Minos from Board and Dice that has the same action system, same designer, same action system, but in a Euro game. I want to see how that plays out because this is one of my favorite area control games. There's still some more coming, but this is one of my favorite area control games. I love this game. I think it's fantastic. I highly recommend it. It was a sleeper hit for me. It was never on my radar. I traded for this a long time ago. I was like, oh, sure, I'll give it a shot. And then I gave it a shot, and it was good. It was good. It still is good. It's incredible. I should play it more.
You should give it a shot.
Yeah, you should give it a shot. Yeah, it's a great game. That's Rurik.
Ready?
Yes.
I think I have a game you're going to agree about.
I assume so. These are the top 100, top 10, top 11 games.
Ooh, Creature Caravan.
Oh, that is good.
Which I am only realizing when I made this list that it's Creature Caravan and not Creature Caravans.
I don't know what I call it.
I've been doing it with an S the whole time. But this is Creature Caravan. Now, this is actually 2 Red Raven games, which I didn't realize.
Good call.
Y'all. Absolutely love them. And this game, first of all, it's beautiful. I know I say that a lot, so I'm just going to say that first so that, okay, it's beautiful. But you're doing set collection with these different cards, and you're doing it with resource management, paying things like bread for stuff, and the resource management is so tight that you feel like you're squeezing just a little bit to get this and that, and you're just trying to get as much as you can while you're going across this map collecting these different cards. And for me, the best part is the set collection of the cards, because cards will trigger depending on different keywords that are included with the other cards that you already have in play. And that is just one of my favorite things that I love to do, is mill through cards and decks, find really good combos, get them into play, and this one is just so beautifully done. Everything is a delight to look at, and all of the abilities are really cool, and I don't know, it's just very fun to build out your tableau and be like, well, now I can do, by the time you're at the end of the game, you're like, I can do everything that I was starving for in the beginning. So
it's great. I mean, I compare this to Everdell in the sense that you start off feeling you can't play a single thing, but by the time I get to the end of the game, you're like, ooh, my engine built, and now I have too many cards, and I have to figure out what's the best cards to play in the last remaining spots. It's very, very solid. Anyways,
that's our top 11 and 20.
Top 11, 20. That's it. The second last video in the series. We're gonna be
2024.
back. We're going to be back with one more video. One more before I then have a follow-up video where I do all the stats of the top 100.
There's going to be so many videos.
Yeah, I do know I do that every year. I do a little video at the end where I do the stats. I go through these are the games that changed the most. Here are the 20 games that dropped out.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But there's also the videos of okay, now top games of 2024.
Oh.
Top are you doing other lists
that,
disappointments
do you want to do top 10 games of 2024?
I totally would, but did you do a whole bunch disappointments and
so I put together fun notes for you, just random facts. This morning I put together notes on my top disappointments 2024, and then I don't do a lot. What I do is every year at the beginning of the year I do a series of videos covering the year before. So I do a revised best of 2023, hidden gems of 2023, and then games I still want to play from 2023, and games that faded from me for 2023.
Do you ever do, I'm sorry if you do this.
Yeah.
Do you do a video where, what if you did one that was the year and the top crowdfunding campaigns that did the best, and you being what do I think that game was worth it or not?
I have done stuff like that. I don't know if I do it regularly. I actually did, I think earlier this year, which
I think that would be really interesting.
Randomly talking now. Earlier this year, I did a video where I covered the top 10 most funded of 2023 and 2024 so far. But it has changed. Like the top 2024 has already changed. Like 4 more have changed.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Let us know down below what kind of videos you guys would like to see at the end of the year, because that's what we're doing.
Anyways, and until next time, I'm Alex Racker from Morgan & Co.
I'm Professor Meg.
And have a good one.
See you in the top 10.